When Brooks Douglas was 16, his parents were murdered in his home. It was 1979, but Brooks remembers it like it was yesterday.
Hi, how you doing? I'm looking for a fellow who lives around here named Mike Mitchell.
I don't know anybody by that name. Did they give you a phone number? He said, yeah, I was hoping I could use your phone. So he came in and heard the front door open again behind me, and Stephen Hatch had walked in and was standing in front of my parents' bedroom door, and he had a double-barrel shotgun pointed at me. And then as when I turned back around to Ake, he had a .357 Magnum pointed at the end of my nose.
All right, now, you know what this is all about.
After looting the house, Glenn Ake and Stephen Hatch raped Leslie, Brooks' younger sister. And then they hogtied the whole family on the living room floor.
And they sat down and ate the dinner my mom had been fixing and talked about whether they should kill us or not. I felt the bullet hit me, and then the second shot, and my mom screamed, and then I heard 4 other shots go off pretty rapidly.
His mom and dad died within minutes. Brooks and Leslie were injured, but managed to untie themselves and drive to a neighbor for help. They were both hospitalized for a few weeks and then moved in with friends. Physically, they recovered, but their mental anguish continued.
We were both really just, I think, in such shock, and we were just putting one foot in front of the other and not having any idea what was going to happen next.
Over the next 15 years, Brooks was forced to testify 9 times at trials and clemency hearings. As the years went by, he relived the nightmare over and over. In 1971, Brooks had become a Christian when he prayed with his father at the age of 9. He understood what the Bible says about forgiveness, but could he really forgive the man who murdered his parents and raped his sister?
I know it's something that I should do, and I know it's something my parents would want me to do. And so, more or less saying, Lord, I'm not ready, but I'm willing to be made ready. It's down the line.
In 1990, Brooks graduated from law school, and that same year became the youngest state senator in Oklahoma history. From the outside, Brooks seemed to have it all, but on the inside, anger and rage were tearing him apart.
And so my way of dealing with it, or my way of not dealing with it, was to keep myself so busy and keep things so chaotic that I really began to realize that, man, I did carry some anger around.
In 1995, as a state senator, Brooks took a tour of the Oklahoma State Penitentiary, the same state pen where Glenn Ake served his life sentence.
I was worried. The guy at one time could deadlift 900 pounds. He was a strong and very mean guy. And so I grabbed a deputy warden and I said, I want to know where you're holding Ake. And I remember just feeling that rage and fear as well. But I remember the most overwhelming feeling was I want to be in the room with this guy. I want to talk to him, and I want to talk to him now. And so I met with the warden, and the warden said no. Dell said, bad idea. That's when I literally said, okay, I'm on this committee called Appropriations, and they said, okay.
My father told me that I should forgive. Forgive you.
And then I remember feeling like somebody had taken a clamp off of my chest, and then I could breathe for the first time in 15 years. I mean, suddenly I felt air actually going all the way up into the top of my lungs, and it was just amazing.
Several years later, Brooks co-wrote and co-produced his first feature film, Heaven's Rain, about his journey to forgiveness.
Part of telling the story was to pay tribute to my parents, but beyond all that is ultimately the story of forgiveness. I tried to be faithful, and as it turns out, God was faithful in bringing me down this road to a place of forgiveness, even if I did it sort of kicking and screaming. I didn't really understand it as much at that moment, but I knew that the only way I was going to get out and walk out of that room and be able to start dealing with other things in my life was by forgiving him.